everyone, and welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns. We've got another Zelda 2 Randomizer 2022 Standard Tournament Winners Bracket Round 2 of the main bracket between BKPKT Patrick and traiLZ. I'm starting with me on comms today is Eleanor. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. This is a heck of a race for only being round 2.
Oh my goodness, we were just discussing this before we started. This is, in fact, a rematch of the Max Rando finals from this year. These two are facing off against each other again in Winners Round 2 seems a little early, but that's how the brackets worked out this year, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a certain point at which, everyone who's left in winners bracket's a tournament champion, but this early, I'm sure, it's not what either runner was looking for. But hey, it'll be a good race.
Yep, should be a fun one. I just noticed that Patrick has a face cam on for the first time that I've noticed. traiLZ, as usual, does have one too, and I should probably check her out. But should be a pretty good race here. Apologies for last minute setup, chat. We had a little bit of a last minute changeover of plans. Unfortunately, Krista is not available tonight.
It's okay. This just means we get a certified star seed.
Yes, we do, and we should be off shortly. We'll see what kind of nonsense this seed is.
Let's go vanilla.
Probably.
Oh, vanilla it is.
Vanilla indeed. Can you hear audio from Patrick's end?
I cannot.
That's what I thought. I wasn't sure if was my computer audio being stupid again or not. And it seems like that actually just broke. And yeah, more vanilla. Vanilla West through and through. 100% everything's whereas in the original game, nothing is new.
Yep. Well, thankfully, Hammer basically right away from traiLZ is going to take a lot of the potential pain out of this Vanilla West.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because you have to find something at the start. The vanilla maps are all very linear and very railroad, because that's how the original game was designed, to railroad you in one direction.
Yeah, there's not that many ways out of this north section, and getting the hammer is obviously the one you'd prefer, but if you have to take Jump Cave out and go around every single time, it's actually the worst.
Hey, at least it beats the times where you have to go either have to go dig out the palace in Parappa for the hammer. Because if you get either Fairy in Rauru, or you get a trophy for Rudo for Fairy, or you just pick up, the Eddie key, it is possible you have to dig that palace in Parappa for the way out of here. There's always some stupid around to be found.
Yep.
Because there are only so many things you can possibly do in the starting area. You've got the 2 item caves, you've got Rauru, you can check the spell in Rudo, you've got Stonehenge, and maybe the palace, as we find out it's life in Rauru, speaking of, and our first 2 spells of the seed are not great. Spell out of Rudo is the other we've seen so far.
Yeah, not spectacular, but again, thankfully, there's not that much to check. Patrick going to check the obvious spots, and he's going to have his hammer shortly, so we'll be able to crack open the rest of the item locations here. traiLZ going to check up in Parappa and find 3 or 6.
Yep, nice dark purple here, but something broke more seriously with Patrick's audio in a way that's not getting fixed quickly. So we're just going to go without today, it seems, because traiLZ's audio is as usable as it ever is.
Yep, not. But yeah, traiLZ just getting a quick kill, only getting 70 points from that Iron Knuckle. Unfortunately, not going to be enough for him to get an attack level, but just takes Magic 2, takes the up A. He's going to check down here, and we'll probably see another up A shortly after.
Or nope, he's heading south. Or Patrick's heading south here. But yeah, traiLZ is going to go for Stonehenge and up A here.
We'll see if that gives us our raft off the continent, or we're going to take the Death Mountain connector.
We'll find out. Be back. That is not it.
500 points, pretty good at this point.
Fair as Patrick picks up is that a vanilla heart container?
That is a vanilla heart container. We'll probably see Trails about 45 seconds or so away from picking that up himself.
Approximately, if, well, no, he isn't, because he's heading off to Rudo.
Yeah, just going to get a quick spell check, and I'm sure we'll see him covering these central locations that Patrick is doing this sec. Looks like 2 different red Dyras in this dark cave for P-Bag Cave.
Oh, that's fine. 70 points ain't bad this early in the seed.
Thankfully, Patrick. Oh, another hard container.
Okay, sure. Looking more and more likely like we'll need that Death Mountain connector.
Yep, yeah, we are running out. We still got Medicine Cave to check, but I believe that's it as far as currently accessible locations in the West. It is possible that we could
Unless
get
Saria has,
Fairy and
unless
Saria
that
would.
has the any key, or Fairy and Saria, yeah.
Yeah,
Or
Fairy
maybe
and Saria would
medicine
sort of
instead.
break the seed open, but
Vanilla medicine would be funny too for me though.
yeah. But
But without any way of doing palaces, really, Patrick is going to skip the swamp for now. Makes sense. Not really worth the hike.
yeah, the only thing that would be useful is if you find where GP was. Having that information can be helpful early on so that you're not backtracking to it to help you make more efficient routing, but it's probably not worth the trip across the swamp.
Yeah, no. And Baku talked to for Patrick. We'll need that eventually. Well, maybe need that at this point, considering they've got not much. Oh, Patrick's audio's back spontaneously.
Hey. Adjust that real quick.
But it works.
Excellent. All right, Patrick's going to get us our last item cave check here in the West, here in Medicine Cave. Although he's still going to have to go up and do a clear of Parappa. In general, I do like the way Trails has routed this a little bit better, just because once he finishes up with his caves, it's going to put him pretty much right next to Saria, and he can go down and check that connector right afterward. Whereas unless Patrick is going to skip Parappa, he's going to have to sort of take another up A and go back.
Yeah, no, that's a flute, which isn't useless, it's just not helpful right now.
Yeah, because Vanilla West sort of locks in those connections, it's a lot more likely to see either Vanilla or Vanilla Shuffle East when you have a Vanilla West. So that ups the stock on that flute pretty substantially.
Oh yeah, because you know your way to the east can't be the connector key. It's less likely to be, more likely to be the raft, a bit less likely to be connector caves, depending on what the mountain rule to be is another one. Alright, gonna head south here for Patrick as Trails heads for his flute.
Trails deciding not worth the walkout, just taking it up A.
Kind of close on that. It's a little bit of a walk out of that cave. It's also a walk to get back there.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, just a slightly different way to take the encounter skip there. Because the randomization resets when you restart the game and take an up A, and it's fairly easy to, with all the buffers available, sort of do a frame perfect, in air quotes, walk from the start. It's pretty easy to manipulate, avoiding the initial encounters wherever you're going. Beyond sort of the first encounter, though, it becomes pretty difficult, but I'm sure Trails has various techniques for all sorts of different skips, and we do get Fairy and Saria. Go east to find the glove.
Okay. I don't think Patrick actually read that hint, so how useful it is going to depend on where that glove actually went.
Yeah, if it sort of just ends up in an obvious place, desert tile right off. If you just desert tile right off the bat as soon as you get to the east, it's sort of like, okay, cool, thanks for the hint. But
and apparently he did read the hint. Never mind. I just can't read myself. As we find Fairy is, I think, just castable. I think that read the 63. Get a second look. Yeah, was that 53? I'm kind of bad with numbers. 53. Okay, so castable only once, but it is castable at Magic 2, which that's nice.
Yeah, it'll save them at the very least a little bit of time crossing the bridge here.
Because they are both going to go see what is this? What is our first connector of the day?
Yeah, if it's Death Mountain, I suspect we're going to see a pretty quick reset by our runners.
It's Maze Island, which is a layout that you would like boots for, but they don't have it.
Yeah, Maze Island definitely going to be worth checking here.
Zolfos are fun!
Yeah, Trails with a little bit cleaner combat there, making up the small gap he had with Patrick. And wow, 500 points for the blue, 300 for the orange. Just a wealth of experience available here.
Oh, for sure. That's attack 4 for Patrick. I think that was magic 3 for Trails. And we'll see if they route the same way through here, which they don't. This is some fight. And Patrick immediately finds the item as Trails. One item as Trails finds the palace. Urgent!
Yeah, I think with where this palace is positioned, though, Trails will check that path soon here. Yep, okay, Trails not making me eat my words.
Yeah, and P4 is here in Maze Island, so they'll need to come back here.
That's going to be annoying to get back to unless there's another connector off this island.
Yeah. Because the western connector cave out of the west is kind of a pain to get to.
Right, so some more divergence. I
don't see any sign of a second connector as yet. More divergence.
Yeah.
We haven't quite gotten a full glimpse of the northeastern corner, but that's it for possible connectors at this point between the two.
Yeah, and both our runners heading in that direction, we're going to see pretty quickly. But unless there's a cave, a tile or two away from where Trails is, I don't think we're going to see it. Oh, Trails missing the fairy feet. Going to have to walk through this manually.
Oops. See, it's more linear than an equation. You're not wrong, Irene, so far.
I really, man, Link, are we really calling that new trick Link feet? There is for Star Runners in chat, there was a recently developed trick Zarnak showed off in a race earlier where you can do fairy feet without fairy, but it requires a very specific setup. But he managed to do it pretty quickly in a race earlier. If we end up calling that trick Link feet, I'm gonna be very upset. So Trails just absolutely annihilating these blue Lizalfos. And interesting, Trails choosing to skip over attack 4 to get the slightly more expensive magic 4. He's really pushing for making fairy cheaper so that he can start doing these palaces. Alright, so Trail's taking a little bit longer, just some unfortunate routing. Gonna get his second item in a bit, where Patrick taking the trip to Parappa that he had put off until now. Surprised to see him taking it up A there and not just going to the palace right away. I mean, I guess he has access to the raft, so maybe he's just gonna check that connector really quickly here. Only having one cast of fairy is a little bit unfortunate. And Patrick gonna pick up his down stab before taking his raft to what we can hope is the east. I'm sure he's hoping it's the east. Go west to find the hammer. Thanks.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, I can hear you.
Wahoo! Sorry, internet crash, and Twitch came back before Discord did. So go figure.
All good. Just to bring you up to speed for the last couple minutes. Trails finished exploring Maze Island. Patrick did his parappa check that he needed to do, and we got a lovely hint that the hammer is in the west.
Gee, thank you. Let's see. Reflect OK is in me, though I did miss that earlier.
Yeah, both our runners basically tied up. Patrick with about a 15-second lead here. They're both gonna get their down stab.
Oh, fun! They're gonna dig that Death Mountain in front of medicine. Wahoo!
All right, we're doing some Death Mountain digging.
Yep, we are. And here we go. Off to the east, which looks like a
that's an east.
A really messy volcano at first glance. Seems like a lot more lava than the usual.
Yeah, and without boots, kind of an obnoxious one to traverse.
It's not vanilla, yeah, but it looks like a bit of a pain in the arse one. And we find P1 here, not far from Raft Tile.
Fire here in New Kasuto. Are we going to be able to get the spell on 5? No, going to take 6.
And this game's never that nice. No hint here. And traiLZ is just behind. Pretty much neck and neck right now between the two. With how linear the seed's been, that's not much of a surprise.
Yeah. We are going to see traiLZ here, having taken his magic levels priority, is going to go through and do this Palace 1 immediately, rather than putting it off. I didn't see if Magic 4 did reduce the cost of Fairy, but the fact that he's in here suggests that it is.
It's 43 for Patrick on Magic 3. 51 Fire right now is kind of mean. And Fire is not linked to Spell. That is a handy way to test.
Yeah, you'll know for sure real quick. Ooh. Okay, 43 still for traiLZ at Magic 4, not enough.
Nope, and that is a glove. We're Fairy block out of here.
Oh, conveniently a nice magic recovery pit right at the beginning of the previous room.
Yep, or end from the other direction, yeah. Because you do need the Fairy or the glove to break the blocks and head down here. That Red Rock exists. And has the other of 3 or 6.
Okay. Rapidly running out of places that GP can be in.
Yeah.
I don't think either runner checked Vanilla 2.
Nope, no spot check.
So it's either that or Valley of Death at this point.
Could be the Island Palace.
The Maze Island Palace was 4.
No, the Island Palace in the west. Shield here in Barunia.
Oh, that's right. We haven't checked that either. Man, Vanilla says
they didn't have Fairy until just before they got off the west.
traiLZ is looking. traiLZ has discovered that the Drippers are Magos and 300 points. We're definitely going to see him at least farm out Magic 5.
Upstab for Patrick here in Darunia. That has the shield spell, so we will need Child today, which is nice. Though we will need to go dig Death Mountain for that medicine, and who knows what Death Mountain looks like.
Alright, so Magic 5 going to give traiLZ a refill at least, and a reduction to 39, so he does have 2 casts per life now.
Yes, he does. Just cheap enough. By 1 point.
And a nice life 5 pickup going to give him the heal, so situation under control.
Looks like this is a one-ended caldera, which is always funny. Or crater, that's always funny.
Yeah, it looks like there's some decent pass-throughs that aren't too inaccessible, too, so...
Yeah, it's... okay, here's Sunken Peaback Cave, so I think the cave just north of here will take you to the other side of the east, and then you can backtrack from there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just assuming that at least one of these caves that are pointing west are pass-throughs, but...
Hopefully we'd have more shenanigans otherwise, because the game does do that sometimes.
Yeah, I mean,
Another heart container. Okay, game. Okay.
P1 being rude with just our red jar for the item drop.
Thanks, game.
It's not even a magic container. That'd give him his fairy cast back.
Nope. I at least don't mind this color too much. Little colored?
Yeah, this is, I think, pretty similar to one of the vanilla colors, but I don't remember which. It's been a very long time since I played much vanilla.
Thankfully, it's got a black background. Otherwise, I think this would look a lot worse.
Yeah, for sure. So traiLZ makes absolute glue out of Horsehead. Just all double stabs until the end. And that Magic 5 paying off. Going to be able to put his gem in immediately and take a 1-0 lead.
Yep. Thunder here in Old Kasuto is very nice, which means that Jump is going to be in Naburu, which is probably on the other side of the map.
Yep. And thankfully not particularly useful. Well, I guess if Jump is... I guess we have easy access to up stab, so the jump stab not going to be as useful as it otherwise could be.
Yep. And I think Patrick is going to go... not that. Oh, he's going to try this pass-through first.
Yeah. Just taking a reset on the previous one.
Instead of going to the Valley of Death-esque one.
Yeah, so through a combination of this palace and just some faster farming, traiLZ accumulated a pretty large level lead. It's 4-3-3 to 4-5-6.
Yep. There's 100-point feedback for Patrick, and a 100-point feedback for traiLZ. Yeah, I'm not sure what the fire spell is actually linked to for Patrick. It's not spell, it's not fairy. I don't think it was jump. I'm not sure what it is.
Could still be life? I don't think we've seen a life check.
I don't think we have seen a life check. I think Patrick had full health when he cast it in Yukasuto.
Fairy life could be, or fire life could be very useful.
Oh, this is a funny map. We're here, I can just jump, I suppose. Fairy is still kind of pricey right now for him.
traiLZ finding the one-way door here in this next 3 or 6 that he found, but unfortunately having to go through it the wrong way.
Yeah. I think we've seen windows. Okay, there we are. That's 6. I think this is a room with windows, which it is.
Yep.
So this is 6, and then the Royal Purple Palace you saw in the west in Paranta is going to be the P2.
So Patrick's still out here looking for the glove, but I think the only... Have we seen the desert tile yet?
We have not seen the desert tile.
Okay, so we've still got desert tile, water tile, and basement grandma outstanding as far as checks, and we do know that one of them definitely has the glove.
This is a kind of gnarly map here on the east. Because teabag on the desert tile is not it.
Okay, that desert tile being gone confirms that we are going to need an item from one of our palaces in order to get the glove.
Yep. Neither of them got a hint for trophy, so we don't know where that is, and cannot access the boots. We do not have enough magic jars, and that's a fairly rude map here for Patrick. This lake here just cutting off decently the quick travel around this part of the map.
Yeah, not having boots has been a pretty big deal, but who knows where those are. All right, useful connector to find. That means that probably this bridge just to the west here for Patrick is going to take him to Death Mountain.
It has to. We've seen the rest. We've seen the other connectors.
Yeah, as long as that's not just like a random bridge.
Which I don't think exists on the east, or at least not in the volcano.
Yeah, probably not on the volcano. On Vanilla Lake, I can see it, but no, yeah, that's definitely going to take him to Death Mountain.
Alright, so that is all of the East explored as far as Patrick can take it. And trail's is done with 6.
Yep, and we're gonna see him go into Death Mountain immediately because he knows he needs to get his medicine here.
A mountainous Death Mountain at that, which would be nice to have boots for. It looks like.
Yeah, it's always nice to have boots. We're just gonna find the boots here in like Hammer Cave, right? Just the worst possible spot.
Probably, because the game does not want to be nice. Oh, here's Spec Rock, so here's one item. And it's not a medicine, but it is a magic jar, so
okay,
that's useful.
50-50 to be progression for the gloves. Not a bad pickup.
Nope. No, Patrick is going to stick it out. Don't tell me that hard boots lock cave there on the bottom right is a... Or potentially hard boots lock time is the hammer cave, because that would be stupid.
Yeah, I didn't get a good enough eye on it, but...
I think the map goes further south than that, so it could be a pass-through, but that's not a... Yeah, the map goes further south, but that's
Patrick is checking all these routes to make sure they're connectors, but he's going to take this southern route and sort of... I like this approach, just sort of gradually sweeping. You know, you started in one corner, go down to the next corner, and then go west and check all of that and make sure that you're checking all the different spots, looking at all the different caves to be like, hey, why does that cave go south?
Yeah, make sure you check all the caves in the area, because there's like 6 of them right where Patrick was. Make sure you check all of them before you move on, because otherwise you'll feel like a real doof later. Oops.
That does not pass through, so Patrick's going to have to go west first, and then south, and then east to get to that southeast section, unless it's boots blocked.
Which is possible, I think, right now with the current map layout.
Yeah. If that southeast section is boots blocked and it has the glove in it, oh boy, this is a certified starseed.
Medicine. We know it's medicine, but we don't
know. I just mean if the hammer cave is there, or if the hammer cave is there and we need boots to get to it.
Yeah. Also, Patrick is not having a fun time. That's dead end number 2 in a row.
Yeah, and not only is it dead ends, all of these caves out here are like little tiny 1 or 2-fers that don't go, like, you know, they're just gonna be linear little connections that maybe they take you somewhere useful and maybe they're just junk. This is gonna be 4 dead ends. This is just gonna be the most complicated dead end ever created. Can we see dead end?
How many dead ends in a row can we get?
Oh no, we just looped back to the other connection. That makes sense.
Okay, yeah, but dead ends and more dead ends. Game does not want to be nice.
So I like Patrick's routing once again, heading south here. Gonna check this bottom section and then gets a key. It's a nice pickup.
Or he hopefully checks this bottom section, depending on
He's trying to check the bottom section. We can't always get what we want when it comes to these passers. Oh no!
Make that 4 dead ends in a row.
Okay, so there's a possibility that he could take this connection to the north that he's heading to right now. And this connection to the north could lead to a cave that does like a big trip south and takes you down south. I feel like he's got to check it, but also we're rapidly approaching the likelihood of that section being boots blocked.
It really is. Because this mountainous west is being very trolly. Oh hey, here's a... Unfortunately, that looks like it's heading straight for another dead end. Patrick decides, okay, I'm gonna turn around because that looks like a dead end. Not sure if I should count that as dead end number 5 in a row, but there sure have been a lot.
Yeah, I think this is just all dead ends. I think unless there's a route that he didn't take in the northeast end that leads to like a further north section of the northeast, that this is just going to be boots blocked. I don't know it for sure, and I don't blame Patrick for making absolutely sure before he leaves, but...
yeah, this is looking like a kind of unusual hard boots locked mountainous death mountain.
Yeah, I think there's a couple. There's maybe one pass through heading north that he can check here. that maybe leads to something useful. I don't know. Okay, yeah, he hasn't been up. No, he has been up to the sections where he came
No, this
from.
is where the
Okay,
breath was.
This connector he hasn't taken. So maybe this connector heads all the way down from the northeast to the southeast, and we'll get him connected into this last bit of Death Mountain. Okay, we get a Thundercast. Still no fire check, though. Didn't see how much it was at Magic 4, but...
That's right back to where he was earlier. This region looks familiar.
Yeah, this...
Yeah.
Smelling a lot. But it could be a required double dip. Can you imagine if you had to get that magic container from Spec Rock, go all the way back to New Kasuto to go get the boots from the old lady?
That would be ridiculous, but it's also looking entirely possible at the rate this seed's going
Yeah, based
right now.
on where Patrick is going, really the only reason he could still be on the east would be to go to Palaces or to go back to New Kasuto.
Yeah, because I think this east is very, very hard to boots lock. Or that mountain is very hard to boots lock for the Hammer Cave. Not sure where, but not sure where it is. It could be all the way down in that southwest corner. Okay. But
we did get a fire check as Patrick's magic was refilling, and it is life, but it looks like only 2 bars.
That's a bit of a bummer. All right, Patrick's gonna head back to the other side of the east.
Yeah. The nice thing about having bad life when it's fire life, though, is when you get your magic high enough, you can just sort of spam the button until it's full.
Yeah. Do we know where the crater connector is? I'm actually a bit lost as to which cave is going there.
I imagine we do, given that we've seen pretty much everything.
We do. I'm just idle thought.
I don't remember. I think it's probably like that one right next to traiLZ heading east, but I'm not 100% sure of that.
Not sure. Not the one right there. I think it might be the bottom right one, but that one right beside the patch of lava is actually the other western connector.
Okay, so Patrick is going to go and do Palaces, which makes some amount of sense. You got to do them anyway. Progression has got to be somewhere. I don't know if we saw traiLZ get the item from this 6. I know we did from 1.
Good question. I don't remember either.
I know he found Barba pretty quickly.
Chat saying they don't think he found it.
Okay. Yeah, we did see Patrick get a red jar and do the spam select strats to heal up to full life when it's not very effective.
Yeah. At least they have 7 bars. They both have 7 hearts containers, so their health does wear down less quickly. As traiLZ is gonna have his 5 minutes of getting lost in Death Mountain.
Yeah, we'll see how long it is before he gives up on it. I suspect he's going to take about the same amount of time Patrick did. You really, really don't want to leave until you're 100% sure that there's no way you can progress.
Yeah, and Patrick found quite a few dead ends. And it's the thing, too, with a mountainous map is that it's hard to... You can't always see where where a cave's going to head off to, because there's just only so much vision you can get. And so you might take a cave like Patrick did, hoping it would get you somewhere, and then realize, no, that's a dead end. As traiLZ gets this magic jar. Where the first item in Death Mountain is the magic jar traiLZ just picked up. The other is a medicine, which we are 99% sure is hard boots locked.
Yeah, at least 95% sure. And what's funny is the most likely location right now for those boots to be is in New Kasuto, locked behind that magic container.
Yep.
There are still 3 whole palaces on the west that our runners could get to that could also have progression, and none of them have wanted to go back west to check them.
Yep. And don't forget we don't have the glove. We could still get glove locked out of palaces too, just for the extra. And Eleanor, don't forget P4.
Oh, that's sorry. There's 2 items I completely forgot. There are 2 items still outstanding in the east. We were talking about the likelihood of one of them being the boots, but one of them is also guaranteed to be the glove.
Yes.
So, but without that 6th magic container and without the boots, neither runner has been able to pick up either of those 2 items.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see trails once he determines that this isn't accessible, instead of going back to the east, since he's already cleared the 2 palaces there, if he just takes an up A and starts doing the west palaces. It's very much trails' MO in these races is, well, I got to do palaces. Palaces are in logic. Let's go do them.
Yeah, there's dead end hard dead end, I think, number 1 for trails there.
Oh yeah, this is just all dead ends.
Yep. He does skip the bottom left of that cave he was in, which would have taken him to the other dead end right next to the one he just ran into, so that's a bit of a time save.
Checking
here's
all
Gentleman
these.
6, which is our last heart container. Womp womp.
Yeah. Good news for trails. He'd skipped out on that item, and if it turned out to be a required boots, it could be disaster for him, but...
Yep, dead end again for trails. And right back around. Yeah, Death Mountain can be generally be trolly, but I think this is one of the more dead end heavy Death Mountains I've seen in a bit.
Yeah, I'm curious what the difference between Patrick's routing here in 6 and trails' was, because it seemed like trails just sort of took a pretty standard route and ended up finding Barbara pretty early, where... Okay. Patrick just apparently took an extra left that trails didn't do, because as I was about to say, here's Barbara.
Yeah. So, a little bit of a time lot, a little bit more time here, but not by much. Trails is still hoping to dear heck that he is not dead-ended hard out of here. We know, we're fairly sure that he will get dead-ended like that, and he's happy.
That is a lot faster of a time to quit than Patrick had, so he's going to make up some more time. And yeah, as I expected, because he did these palaces in the east already, he's just immediately up-Aing, going to go west, probably going to see him clear all 3 of these palaces.
I expect so, starting with P3 as Patrick takes Barbara down.
Well, at least 2 of these palaces. We do know that there is a 2/3 chance that one of the palaces we haven't checked here is going to be Great Palace.
Yep. Alright. Starting with P3 here in Parappa. Got an immediate elevator.
This is a very nice purple color.
I do quite like this one. Nice, dark, kind of the color of royalty, I guess, in a way, because back in the day, purple was one of the most expensive colors just because natural dyes for that color are quite hard to come by. Nice ending key.
Yeah, okay. Man, can you imagine if one of our runners had picked up a key early and decided to dip this?
Ooh, here's a big check for Patrick. And...
Well,
that's a wappy of a candle.
Well, that's going to confirm our boots not here in the east, but they are hard required at this point, because at the very least, they're holding our glove.
Yep.
And pretty strong likelihood that they are also blocking off our medicine.
Yeah, I think between the 2 of our runners, I think we know for sure that the medicine is hard boots locked. We have seen all continental connectors. There is not a second into Death Mountain.
Yep. The only possibilities are those boots are required, or both of the runners made pretty serious mapping errors, which I very much doubt.
Yeah, I doubt these 2 runners would both make catastrophic errors in that front.
But it would be funny.
It would be funny.
Oh, Trail's casting Fairy there, maybe forgetting he had the magical key, maybe just wanting to avoid taking another hit from that Iron Knuckle, but...
Yeah. Patrick wishing he had the any key, but did not have enough magic to ferry through the door, so has to go backtrack. Thankfully not too far from start, that's just a little bit of a pain.
Oh boy, the lag from the fire mows.
Yeah. The pair, 2 of them, syncing up and flying in tandem there.
So Patrick
Patrick
gonna be able
does-
to save a little bit of time having the magic already for Fairy.
Did have to update to get the magic back. Though.
Oh, okay.
That was my comment earlier. That's why he had
that was where he had. Okay, that makes sense.
But traiLZ did go this way to get to Horsehead, so we know Patrick will find it eventually on this route. Because they don't have a glove to go the other way now.
Yeah, traiLZ without the fire spell is taking some pretty serious attrition on his health, but 3 should be short enough. It's not going to be an issue. As traiLZ finds yet another dead end here.
Yep.
I think up in this elevator is the last way left to go.
And apparently he does have fire, he just needs casting life. Fair enough.
Oh, okay. You know, as long as you don't die, it's fine.
Yeah, here's Horsehead for Patrick, who I think will go back in here searching for the item, which we know unfortunately is just a jar.
Yeah, thankfully it won't take him too much time to find. Oh, interesting. He's gonna go look back looking for it before he plants the gem. Not sure I like that strategy, but
Here's Reba for traiLZ. Nice jump for Patrick and the death for traiLZ. Womp womp.
if only he had some sort of spell that would recover his life.
Right? And Patrick is going to take a death to get his magic back.
Oh, that makes sense why he didn't go place the gem immediately, because he did not have the magic to do so.
Yeah, there's that. I didn't think about that either. Still 39 fairy at magic 5. And Patrick is like, yeah, man. Can't actually pick up jars as a fairy, otherwise it would have been a nice refill at least.
Okay.
Well, nice. Not much use.
So traiLZ gonna move on. 5, 6, 7, continuing on the just take levels as he goes rate. I think attack is next, but I didn't get the full check.
Neither did I. Patrick is gonna place his second gem and then go see where he's off to next. traiLZ, I think, is gonna head for the swamp next. And that's life 7 for Patrick. Hard save quit for him, and he will also be off to the west. At this point, traiLZ got a bit of a lead due to not spending as long in Death Mountain, I think.
Yeah, part of it is that he did his palaces first in the east before going to Death Mountain, so he didn't have to do that backtrack. And yeah, part of it is just spending less time in Death Mountain before giving up on it.
Yeah. Here's I did not catch the front door, so I'm not sure if this is 2 or 5. But this is... Yeah?
It is 2 or 5. Sorry, I also did not catch it. We're gonna find out real quick here. It's 2.
Vanilla 2 in the swamp.
Yeah, and we're almost certainly gonna see traiLZ go back and look for the item here.
Yep. I would be more concerned if he did at this point in the seed.
Yeah. 2
Yeah,
is
Here's the indie key for Patrick, which he would have liked 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean, well, the runners theoretically could have done it. Okay, yeah, so it was attack 6 next, so traiLZ's going to be incredibly comfy on levels going forward.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they would have liked it a while ago, but well. See, it's been really nice on color so far. I also quite like this shade of green for P2.
It contrasts well with the lava, too.
Yeah.
traiLZ, I appreciate not even attempting to try and make it past this monstrosity. Immediately casts fairy, it just flies across.
Yeah. With the indie key, he can afford to be a little bit more, afford to use fairy more often since he doesn't have to save it for doors.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see how much further this left path goes.
Yeah, unfortunately P2 is one of the longest palaces in the game. So it could take a while to get through this place. Here's a glove block.
Okay.
And he's out of here. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if the item in 2 is glove blocked, that means that it can't be the boots, and so on he goes.
Yeah, more that I was trying to remember if that is the if that was the only path left.
I don't know for sure, but I think it was, I think it was just a straight shot right to the boss and a straight shot left to that dead end.
Yeah.
Or that glove block, rather.
So yeah, he's out of here. He's off to, I assume, the Island Palace next.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's Island Palace, or I think he's thinking about going back into 6. Oh, no.
Oh,
never mind. He's probably going to check Granny Basement here.
Granny Basement for sure, maybe P6 after that.
Yeah. We'll
Granny
see.
Basement makes sense.
Yeah, this is a pretty quick check. Does he go into P6? It's always in the back of your mind, right? It's like, I skipped that palace, maybe something important is there, but I think at this point, if you're traiLZ, you've just got to commit to the decision that you made and go to the other palace. I mean, I guess there's a 50-50 chance it's just GP too, but at this point, our only possibilities for those boots are going to be
P4,
finding
and the other
P4 and
palace.
P5, and maybe not even P5. Okay,
P4
traiLZ.
and P5, assuming they're not glove blocked. Yeah.
Yeah, well, traiLZ is going to check this Death Valley Palace first.
Yep. I don't think this is going to get him there. I'm not, because the Caldera is one-sided and the connector cave to it, so I think on the other is pointing towards the other side of the map.
I don't know. I think having these 3 connectors suggests that this is definitely the way, but it may be a case where this is a west-facing cave that leads you out through an east-facing cave that is east of where you came in.
Apparently
Yes.
so.
That's exactly what it is, and it's GP. Okay, so traiLZ immediately taking that up gonna head to the Island Palace.
Alright, so that answers that as Patrick places his final his gem in 3. My brain's going in different places. Oops.
Yep, so traiLZ maintaining pretty much a 1 palace lead still.
Yeah, none of the palaces have been too long so far, at least, but
pretty late first check of King's Rock for our runners, or King's Tomb rather, but it is completely useless. I think we still have 1 hint outstanding, but at this point it's probably unlikely that our runners are going to find it.
yeah, and it's unlikely they'll be of much use, I think.
Yeah. At this point, unless it was a hint that told you directly where the boots are.
I don't think it's of much other use, yeah.
Alright, so here's P5.
That is a very bright shade
You had
of
commented
pink.
how good the colors were, and you commentary cursed it. This is awful.
This is really bad. And I'm sorry about that, Cobb's curse.
It's so bright and so like red, pink.
It's
saturated. That's what it is. It's saturated.
It is the same color as your name, yes, Aaron in chat. That's Helmet Head down for Patrick.
Yep, and he's almost certainly going to place his gem and then do the same thing traiLZ did when he just heads up A's and heads east.
Oh, Patrick's... yeah, well, he's gonna get Glove Lock out of here and head east.
He's going to make up a little bit of time because he's already checked both items in New Kasuto.
Yeah, traiLZ has yet to check Old Lady.
traiLZ did go in and check Old Lady on the way here.
Oh, wait, no, he double-checked. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, traiLZ not picking up a life, doesn't need it, extremely confident, and then, of course, immediately goes and takes a death.
As you say that.
I'm sure he's fine.
Oh, he's fine. It's just funny.
Yeah.
Thundercastable for Patrick. Not sure how much that cost, but he did just use it.
And that's that room that traiLZ just used Fairy in immediately. A quick palace here for traiLZ.
Quick boss, yeah. We don't know about the item, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're gonna find out.
I mean, it has to be Hero P4. We've seen everything else in the game, so...
Yep.
And it has to be either the glove, or either the boots or the trophy to get to spell for the spell tower. Because they never checked that trophy in.
Oh yeah, we still haven't checked that, so... We know progression is either here or in 4. What is it and where? Still unknown.
Yep.
I think Berserker is a good way to describe traiLZ, right? It just sort of goes forward, takes hits, goes fast.
Yep. And Patrick is going to head straight for the Island Palace. Is going to shave a little time off here by not going all the way to the caldera or crater, not caldera, to find out its GP.
Yep. It's going to turn out well for him.
Yep. It is the 50-50. Both are a hike. Which one do you go to first?
Yeah, I think it made sense for traiLZ to check that one first because he needed to check New Kasuto. And also with Patrick not having to check New Kasuto, this is just the closest palace for him.
Yep. Because they both really don't want to go into 4 without Reflect.
We get a sighting of the fake dead end room here.
Yep. Someone was kind of mean when creating that community room, and this P5 is a mercifully considerably nicer color for Patrick.
Yeah, this is still not great, but fine.
It's at least not as saturated as it is on traiLZ's end.
Yeah. The fake dead the fake dead end room is a lot kinder when you're entering it from the left.
Yeah.
What do we got here for traiLZ? Looks like he's not interested. He's going to go all the way down and right first.
Mm-hmm. The thing I think for Patrick is that his screen is like entire stream's a little bit flickery. Or at least it is for me. I'm not sure if that might just be my computer being funky today, probably, but that's been a little bugging me.
Yeah, I think mine downscaled the bitrate a little bit. traiLZ having a little bit of pain getting past that blue iron knuckle just to find another blue iron knuckle dead end.
Yep.
And so now he's got this left, that bottom right, and then that other elevator upright that all of which still outstanding. Get a jar check.
Might have just also been a little bit of my monitor being funky because I turned it off and on again just briefly, and that seems to have helped. I have had it on for all day since I started work this morning, so it hasn't helped it.
So Patrick gonna find Guma as well, taking very similar, go right routing, but traiLZ is still just checking more and more and more of this 5, and it's all useless.
Yeah, P5 definitely showing that it is the longest non-GP palace in the game. And Patrick takes down Goomba on 0 health. Yes, the item in P4, and, there's Boots.
We've got Boots! Alright, that's progression. traiLZ is going to be able to go get his glove from the east, and he's also going to be able to check that second location in Death Mountain, which we know is the medicine, which he also needs.
Yep.
And that'll gonna lead him basically straight to 4. And at this point, traiLZ firmly in the lead.
Yeah.
As if he wasn't already.
Got a full-on 5 dig of... Got this really long dig of 5 over Patrick.
Yeah, we'll see how quickly Patrick definitely could gain a lot of time if he gets lucky here and finds the way to the item faster than traiLZ did.
Yeah. traiLZ, finding on the water tile, there's the glove, alright.
Yeah.
Glove was not sitting in this bell tower, you did not have to go get the trophy to go over there.
Yep.
That would have been spectacularly rude.
I was really hoping it was on the water tile. I mean, if at this point, right, like we've seen the rest of the items, right? The trophy's gonna have to be in P4, so that would have been a forced P4 double dip, and yeah, that's not fun.
No. Trophy could be in 4 or in 2 at this point. Now that we've finally gotten the glove.
Oh yeah, that's true. It could be you had to go get the boots and then go into 2, and then yeah, that would have been a monster. A little surprised traiLZ took this route to get to the end of the East, maybe forgetting about that connector. But yep, immediately heading south down the coast. Gonna start checking these caves.
Yep. That first little cave was in fact just a pass-through. First indication that this map might be Blue Boots locked, which it turned out to be. And yeah. I think these 2 cave... And, okay, that's not it. Yeah, you're gonna have to head left here.
Yeah, it looks... There's like 3 caves that head west here, but they all pair up. Interesting.
Yep. And then pick one and head on left.
Is one of these a 4-way?
That's a really good question, because they all pair up directly, and now I'm a bit confused. And I think traiLZ is now a bit confused.
Okay, maybe it's north. Maybe he's got to take the boots all the way. Is there a section north?
No, there's not. Because the way mountainous DMs work like this is because if you pull this up in Z2 Edit, you've got the left half of the map is the mountain, and the right half is just an enormous ocean.
Yeah, of River Devils.
And that's boots for Patrick, who's going to walk out and probably head to the east that way, it looks like.
Yeah, so does that mean that this item here was not actually boots blocked?
Maybe?
The terrain is certainly looking like it so far.
Something is up with this Death Mountain map, that's for sure. And
Okay. This one of the caves that looked like it paired up didn't, and led through to here.
Okay, I was going to say, I'd be a little concerned.
Yeah. I mean, traiLZ was going to check them all anyway, but it looked like they all paired up, but one of them might have gone somewhere weird. But traiLZ is going to go through here. We know for a fact that this is medicine. Going to lead traiLZ to his Reflect spell and to P4.
Yep. What a map!
Yeah. It's been a fun one. I like seeds that have these sort of complicated little routing bits with a bunch of progression that you pick up as you go. Pretty much every item was required here.
Mm-hmm.
But traiLZ just casting fairy, plowing through these enemies. There's his medicine.
He's out of here.
It looks like Patrick did gain at least a little bit of time in that 6, because he was a full palace behind, and now, he's in DM just as traiLZ is leaving. He's still behind, but he's definitely been catching up. Probably only in the neighborhood of 2 or 3 minutes behind.
Well, I would say so, yeah, at this point. Do you remember which of the 3 caves was the right one? Because I don't.
I also do not.
Not that one, evidently.
Yeah, okay. This was the case. This is why I was asking if there was a 4-way, right? That explains how everything connects through, right? Because there's it looks like they all pair off, but one of the caves, the cave that leads you actually to Hammer Cave, is this branch off of a 4-way.
That makes sense, yeah.
That's why you can have all the caves pair off, and then... Or at least I think it is. I don't actually remember I don't actually remember which cave it was that Trails took. He sort of just checked them all until he got there.
Well, Patrick will work it out.
I think it might be that one that Patrick just went into. Maybe I'm wrong.
He's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
He's like,
No, I think he's just gonna do what Trails did and just start taking caves until he finds it.
Yeah, I mean, he knows it's gotta be a solution, or at least check it until he confirms there isn't, and then go file a bug report either way.
Yep.
New sub 60 for Trails. Nope. This seed was not nice.
Yeah.
Got slightly too lot. Patrick did lose a bit of time by getting a smidge lost in Death Mountain again, but he is here.
Yeah. As previously mentioned, this trip back to Maze Island, not great. We were last here about 50 minutes ago, and at least this time, Trails has got the boots. It's going to save him, I think, 1 encounter tile.
Something like that? It's a little bit, not a ton, but a bit.
Yeah, I know there's one that is basically immediate that he's going to have to take, but I think that he can maybe skip 1 by taking the river right after that.
Yeah.
Oh, nope, I'm wrong. The river actually abuts straight up to the thing, so he just has to take this one. All right. So once again, as Patrick up-A's out after picking up his boots. Medicine was the thing he picked up.
We've been all over the place.
Yeah, it's been a race. Trails entering P4, so just a little bit ahead in progression. P4 calmed us down. We've got a nice, lovely cornflower blue kind of situation going on.
I like this color, yeah. I was thinking Periwinkle myself, yeah, Aaron. I'm not actually sure what shade of blue cerulean is, I'll be honest.
I appreciate how Trails could very easily, like, ferry up and down to dodge those bullets from the square wave heads. I just chooses not to.
Okay, yeah, I thought cerulean was a much richer color, which it is. Yeah.
So it looks like the path to Karak is hold right.
Pretty much, and that's him down for Trails. That'll be jump number 6 as Patrick picks up his Reflect. Hugo beat Karak. Yeah, at this point Patrick is an entire 4, and an entire hike 2-4 back behind.
Yep, Trails determines 668 is more than enough. It just burns his gem and immediately heading to GP.
Yep. Still has to walk all the way there, but yeah, well. Patrick also taking this route to get to Maze Island. Or no, to the water tile first. That's me getting lost again.
He's got to pick up his glove.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good race here. Very funky seed to be had.
A little surprised he's not taking an up-A here. It's probably a very similar distance to walk, but I imagine it's probably slightly shorter to have just up-A'd.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say for sure, as Trails takes a death here.
One of those things where it's probably only a few seconds either way.
Yeah.
Alright, and despite the complexity of this seed, Trails is going to be gates up at 103.10.
Pretty decent time, all things considered.
Really just making it look easy.
Giant Bulba got stuck in the wall, and I like this shade of green. Very, very tame first room. There's not much going on at all here.
Yeah, where's all the chickens?
Not in the first room, not in this next waffle either, apparently.
Yeah, we got more waffles, but just another really easy one.
Got more ropes, and that's about it, yeah. Or at least I think those are ropes, I could be wrong. And new names are wacky in Z2. And there's a chicken statue and an actual chicken.
Yeah, but this is such an easy room to handle a chicken in.
Yeah.
Trell's just walking away. Oh, very acquired room.
Yep.
No dash spell here.
Nope. And you can't cross these gaps without it. Chicken number 2, also not all that hard to avoid. As I say that, Shells takes a hit.
Yep. Life 8-7 bars though. He can take quite a few of them. Oh! Wow, he gets the very cast in time. That is the rudest king bot. I've gotten got by that exact spawn so many times.
That is a pretty bad one. I'm not sure where Patrick's going, but I don't think it's Kara.
Yeah, he just told me right. Yep,
I guess, I got lost. Fun little upstab block room here.
Yeah, upstab hard required.
Yep, you can't really upstab skip this 2 shape. Or the reverse S shape, which you can get going in the other direction.
Trails very, very cleanly. Making that first jump where you go up and around to the first section without jump spell is actually very precise. Trails has a really good setup for it. Oh, here's the chickens!
Oh, wham! Face full of chicken here for Trails.
They brought backup.
The room not working with the chickens and against Trails.
Oh, just absolutely mauling him down to 1 bar of life.
And I understand he decides to just thunder the pair. And more chickens.
Oh boy. This is what Patrick needs to catch up to Trails. Just an absolutely brutal GP.
Chicken central here in this room. 2 red chickens, a blue chicken knight, and a 2 red chicken knights, a spicy chicken, and a blue chicken knight here to give him a hard time.
Alright, here's Thunderbird.
Alright, chicken, T-Bird right after the chicken squad. Nice save for Patrick.
Trail's using all his magic to get a Thunder and Reflect combo.
Yep.
Well, making good use of Reflect already, getting a little unfortunate corner pattern, but being able to shield his way out of it.
And there we are.
Wow, making it look easy as usual.
Pretty quick T-Bird too, so could be a decent bit of GP left after this, probably.
Yeah, well, we'll see. You're Patrick, you're hoping this is a fork right away.
Yep. Got one of these lovely rooms.
Okay, there's a drop room is a little bit sad. Ooh, nice red jar, though.
Nice red jar. Trails is on his last life after those chickens, and here's another crumble bridge room.
All right, Patrick coming in 107.38, so about a 3.5 minute deficit.
Yep, Trails is gonna head up right here at this fork. Or head right, really, at this fork, and decides to turn around and head left.
Yep. That's a big old dead end there.
Yep.
Not trying to set up the blocks, just doing a quick fairy cast.
Kingbot again.
Yep, just being maximally rude. Here's another fork.
And another fork.
And more forks. Okay, we found the rest of GP.
Yep.
Will it be kind and just a quick route from one of these rights, or are we going to have a whole adventure on our hands?
Yep. Let's see how Patrick handles the chicken squad in the room or two.
Trill's casting Fairy. That's going to be the end of his magic.
Yeah, and do remember this is his last life, and up A could make a real difference here. Another nice start to this waffle room. And there's a chicken.
Trill's doing a good job getting the stab him in the knees set up.
Yep.
Oof, and this right has very quickly turned into a left.
Yep. And Patrick also gets the nice save off that King Dot.
I feel at this point you just gotta expect it.
Yeah, game kind of does like to do that.
I think the worst thing about this right turning into a left for traiLZ is that there's now a pretty solid chance, like he only had 2 rights available to him. So there's a decent chance that if this path does loop around, it's going to loop around into the only right that he knows about.
Yeah, and
Dark Link.
mind. Okay, and Patrick unfortunately is going the wrong way.
Yeah, well, I imagine he probably guessed that he was behind and he was right, and taken the gamble. But it's not going to turn out either way, as traiLZ should be able to stab his way to victory shortly here.
Yep. Just don't game over, please.
Oh, man, he did take a hit.
And as I say that, that is a game over on Dark Link for traiLZ. Patrick still has to find his way there, so traiLZ should be fine, but that doesn't
Yeah, I think traiLZ has enough of an advantage. He knows exactly where the path is. And given that Patrick is on the wrong way here, to the best of our knowledge, I don't actually remember exactly where the right path was.
It was the S-shaped upstab block instead of the regular one. As he runs into more chickens, and that's not good for his health either.
Yeah, the slow start for the chickens, but they definitely did turn up the scene.
Okay, and there's the L7, so.
Okay, so Patrick gonna take this up A, but unfortunately for Patrick, traiLZ is ahead of him, knows what the route is, and has also already killed Thunderbird.
Yeah. That Kingbot jump scare definitely being of use to the palace, and that it forces them both to use a fairy cast. And we'll continue to force them to use a fairy cast to avoid getting themselves.
Yeah, it is. If you know it's there, it is possible to like get a good stab and a bounce or bait him out or something. But I suspect traiLZ is just gonna cast fairy and
just get through it. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. I believe this is the room for him.
And gets it.
Yep. Okay. It looks like he was gonna try and set it up, and the bubble's just being too rude. He's like, nah.
Not worth it, yep.
He's got plenty of health, plenty of lives. He just needs to make it through here and get back to Dark Link.
Yep, because Fairy is still 39 at Magic 6. It never really did get cheaper.
Yeah, it took until Magic 5 for it to go down to even 39, and then it just stuck there.
Yep. Because it started at 43 and at Magic 2 when they picked it up, and it hasn't... 39 at least got them 2 casts for a Fairy at 5 Magic Bars, but that's about it.
Yeah, 39 and 43 are pretty different numbers, but...
And Patrick also just ends up having to Fairy the bot through.
Yeah, if you want to try and get it, you have to kind of manipulate it to spawn, and then either let it run off the cliff, or there's a number of ways you can try to set it up, but again, yeah. I think the right way to handle it is the way our runners did. Just cast Fairy.
Yep. Chicken Squad, ducking a good bit of health off traiLZ, and lagging the room quite a lot. Patrick losing a fair bit of health here as well.
Makes it past the chicken cleanly, though.
Yeah. And now he gets welcomed into this absolutely fantastic room. And there's the death.
The chicken squad welcomes you.
Welcome to the real part of GP.
Ooh,
And
nice.
he's just gonna run for it, which is, I think, this
Gets a really good run, and there's so many beams from the chicken knights on screen that the spicy chicken wasn't able to shoot fire up at him.
Sprite overload.
Yeah, Sprite Overload definitely coming in handy for him as he comes into his Thunderbird.
And still has full magic bar and most of his health, which is pretty good.
Trail's getting pretty low here, but thankfully for him, this time he's got 2 lives remaining instead of none.
Yeah. Oh, Patrick did not quite manage to hit T-Bird on that pass-through.
I'm getting slightly off, but there he gets a quick reset in the middle. Yeah, and now the Trails knows exactly how many rooms are left. We see him, I mean, using Fairy there like he did before, but also in the previous room, just sort of more aggressively using Fairy, trying to go as fast as he can, be as safe as he can, because, you know, you got to be thinking, man, I lost 5 minutes to that Dark Link death. Patrick's going to be right behind me at any time.
Patrick is not far behind, just not close enough, I think. Does get through T-Bird and is also taking some damage.
Yeah, well, especially because Trails, knows exactly which route he needs to take here.
Yeah. This room after T-Bird just full of flying stuff that's hard to avoid taking at least one hit in there.
Trails almost getting the triple block break, but the Bird Knight saying no. Ooh, but that jump is very difficult, being able to get into a 2-block space there.
And there's the shells back to Dark Link.
I believe in Trails. Oh, Patrick finding a drop room.
You said it was a dead end, but no, that's a drop. Oh, and to an L6. This is not the L7 trail Patrick found earlier. There were no fireballs in that one. It is not the way through, though.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that drop led him. That's the L7 at the left at the beginning that he had found.
Ooh, yep.
Yep, and with that, Trails has finished with official time 1:16:22. Looks like Patrick has just decided to has not officially quit yet, but has stopped playing the race.
He has stopped playing to type. I think he's going to try and finish that.
Yeah, I don't blame him. He is very close.
He is. His comment in chat was, GG's, I just took the wrong drop. I just took the wrong drop past T-Bird. Emphasis.
Yep. That is accurate, unfortunately.
Yep. Both that and that I just took the wrong T-Bird and I just kind of wrote both ways enough. So yeah, he's going to redo that. And Trails' opinion, crappy seed, y'all be in there.
Yeah, well, for a star seed, I thought this was actually pretty tame.
This could have been worse, yeah.
Definitely some routing complexity to it, but nothing actually that difficult.
Now, the palaces were by and large fairly decent, besides the chicken squad turning out in force there.
Yeah, the XP was really kind, right? Trails was able to get those Lizalfos for 300 for the orange and 500 for the blue early on, get some early levels, and...
Yeah. Alright, let's get Trails in here. Hey Trails, GG's.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank you. Man, I can't remember the last time I came over to Dark Link and how terrible I felt walking back.
Oh, it's terrifying.
I thought I was done there, but I guess I died there as he was entering GP.
He entered 3.5 minutes after you, so not far off, to be honest. Yeah.
The big difference is he went left at the beginning, probably thinking that he was behind. And it just led to a big chunk of dead end. And then after going through Thunderbird, he took that drop room that you turned around and left in, and that
I didn't trust that drop one bit.
You were right not to trust it because it led to that section at the left that he knew about all the way back at the beginning of the palace.
Yep.
Oh my god, dude! It took you all the way back to the beginning.
Yep. It actually took you further back to the beginning because you would have needed to go through 4 or 5 more rooms before you got back to where the start was.
That is awful. Thank God I didn't take that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you were a little bit ahead coming in, but definitely got a little luckier on the routing in GP.
And talk about right ordering GP. And was I correct to go get the boots and then go back to Death Mountain? Because I swear I couldn't find Hammer Cave.
Oh, you were correct. You actually gained some time on Patrick because he spent a little bit longer getting dead-ended everywhere before failing. He went there before you, and we were like, this is a fairly dreadful Death Mountain. We think it's boots locked. And he found like 5 dead ends in a row and then quit. And it's like, yeah, that's boots locked.
Yeah, between you doing the palaces on the east before going to Death Mountain and also having a little quicker time in Death Mountain, you ended up being about a palace ahead, and then just through most of the seed, you guys were following the same route.
So I'm guessing he almost last ordered the boots as well. You know, I skipped the item in P6, and I wasn't really sure what it was. And it was kind of, I gotta say, it was a little scary.
Yeah. Patrick ended up finding that the first time through pretty early, but it was just a hard container.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, like, once you make the decision to skip 6, you're just, like, committing to skipping 6.
And it was down to a 50-50, too. It was either P5 or P6. Like, that's what it came down to.
I think there was still the possibility of P4 being progression, although that would have been absolutely awful.
Yeah, it would have been P4 either had the boots or the trophy, and the trophy would have led to the spell tower, which would have had the boots or something crazy.
Yeah, neither of you checked the trophy yet, so we still don't know where it... Well, I mean, I guess process of elimination, we know it was definitely in 4, because that was the only thing that was left, but...
Well, there was a one boot blocked P-bag. There was a P-bag cave also that was boot blocked.
Was there?
I counted all 6 items in the west.
No, on the east. There was a risen P-bag cave that was blocked by the boots there by the Maze Island Bridge.
Oh, was it actually? I did not see that.
Was it that one all the way in the north? Yeah,
it was all the way. It was all the way on the west side. On the other side, like
just north of the bridge. Yeah, it was like south facing. Yeah, I think I remember that cave.
Yeah. I walked around and like because I knew that was the cave because I looked at all the other ones and I looked around and there was nowhere else to get to it.
Yeah, but the boots sort of were the key to the whole seed. At that point, we knew they were going to block the medicine. There was a very high chance that they were going to block the glove.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And dude, I've been burned by that. I've been burned by taking the drop after Thunderbird so many friggin' times, dude. Yeah, it's almost like really it's. Back in the day when like GP was kind of cookie cutter, meta was kind of like take the drop after Thunderbird, but like not these days. These days it's like, you know, you got to be careful because, you know, like I said, it shuffled you all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah, I never liked taking the drops in GP, and I especially don't now.
Yeah, I mean,
especially because you had already seen that drop exit that was like right after Thunderbird, so like.
Yeah, well, there was that, but then there was also, like you said, the first elevator up, there was that whole upstab block area that I didn't even search. Yeah. Dude, I can't believe I took a game over on Dark Link.
Oh, yeah, we were like, oh no. Speaking of Dark Link, Patrick's here.
I bet you that made the race really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, sort of. Unfortunately, by the time you had taken that game over, Patrick was he was sort of on his left at the beginning that we knew wasn't going to work out for him. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I must have been way ahead then.
Yeah, it's like I said, you're about 3.5 minutes ahead coming in, but Patrick sort of routed the worst way you possibly could. Unfortunately, just got very unlucky.
It should have been. It should have been a 111 for me, but I took that Death of Thunder or Dark Link. You guys know that should cost me like 5 minutes to walk
Oh yeah,
back.
yeah. 5 minutes seems pretty accurate.
Alright, and GG's to Patrick finishing up 123.10, just under 7 minutes behind you, traiLZ.
That's not bad for a seed like that. That seed is pretty terrible.
Yeah, you lost 5 minutes to. You lost 5 minutes to the game over. Patrick got in 3.5 minutes after you finished 7 minutes behind you, so. Lost quite a few minutes there to that left.
Oh yeah, it sounds like about 12 minutes. 7 minutes plus the 5, I guess. I don't know. I'm just making numbers up right at this point.
I'm too tired to try and figure out the math.
Yeah,
but he will not be joining us. It's getting late for him. So, but GG's to him.
Well, he said no interview?
Yeah.
Right on. Well, GG's to Patrick. What happens next? Who do I face and who does Patrick face next?
Pulling up the bracket right now. You are off to face the winner of Mirai vs. Paratrooper.
Noise.
None of the matches are easy at this point.
No, and Patrick here gets to face off against the winner of JJ Schmidt and who's it? Zardex.
That should be a pretty good race.
Yep. I think. Oh, yeah, I can't beat. There we go.
Mariah says, "I hope I can make it there." What's the problem, Mariah? Do you not believe in yourself?
The problem was that Para is a very good racer.
Yeah, Para's whooped my butt before. I remember Paratrooper finished, and I'm like still trying to figure out what's going on in the seed. I couldn't believe it, and like I had some other stuff going on, but I had one of those nervous breakdowns, man, that I have when I get all angry and rage out,
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess at the end of the day, I played a little, did my thing, but it sounds like I just got a little bit luckier than Patrick did.
Yeah, kind of boiled down to that. If that left had been the right lane GP, that could have gone a bit differently. Shoutouts by the way to the chickens right before Tabor. That was a fairly terrible room for you both.
Yeah, I got wrecked, and that's a room that I probably shouldn't have gotten as wrecked as I did, but I did. And I even said to myself, if I take a game over, I'm going to take that left, the first left, but then I found Thunderbird, and I knew that I was on the right path, so I was like, alright.
Yeah, because those chickens took a lot of health out of you. Patrick ended up just running for it in that room rather than trying to fight them, which I think you tried to do the first time. That did not work.
Yeah, I tried to make a run for it, and then they just swarmed me, and I got clobbered.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Was it fun to watch? Was it a good race?
Yeah, it was pretty good to watch.
I enjoyed it just because I like seeds that have a lot of routing complexity to them, and this seed definitely had that thing, although the actual route that you guys took ended up being pretty linear.
Yeah, I mean, this seed definitely had some shit with it, but by the time you made it to where you needed to go, there wasn't many places left for it to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
But alright guys, thank you guys so much for everything as usual. Thank you for stepping in last minute and taking the commentary and the restreaming. You guys rock, and I guess I'll see you guys next time.
Good luck in the next round.
Good luck. Alright, so that is about it here for us tonight. Let's see, give our runners here a follow. Patrick and traiLZ, great race from them both. Good luck to them next round. Thank you also to my co-comp Elendar. And to our tracker today, as well as the tournament admin, Alan Heffley, doing the clickety-clack for a change tonight. Much appreciated for all the work you do, TH. And GG's to him too, because he was racing earlier today, but I don't have much else to say. Any last thoughts, Elendar, before we head out?
Nope. Looking forward to still watching more of these great races. Plenty to go still.
Yeah, sounds good. Have a good night. We will see you next time.